Good morning, my lovelies. Today we are going to be discussing one of the hottest topics surrounding Five Nights at Freddy's security breach. Is Gregory a robot? Well, we're going to look at both sides of this coin. There's a case for him being a robot and him not being a robot. So let's look into it. Without any further ado, grab a snack, grab a drink, and let's discuss. Roll the intro. How I'm going to do this is I'm going to look at the pros first, then the cons, and then eventually I'll give you guys my thoughts. So, if you don't know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's security breach, we play as a boy named Gregory. We kind of jump right into it. We're found inside of Freddy Fazbear's stomach or his stomach hatch, and we kind of just jump right into the action. We don't know how Gregory got here. We don't know why he's being chased by the security guard, why he doesn't trust the security guard. We're kind of just thrown into it right off the bat after this big intro sequence of Freddy on stage with the rest of the animatronics, and he breaks down for some reason or another. He has an error of seeing someone or something, and he breaks down, and then we come to, and Gregory is us, and we're inside of him, and we're kind of just thrust into everything. So here's some of the pros. 1. When Vanny is near, Gregory sees these TV lines or analog TV lines across his vision, which could mean that he has eyes that are not normal. He has eyes that are electronic in nature, because whenever Vanny is near, he sees these TV analog lines. Also, number 2, at the charging stations, Gregory can be inside with Glamrock Freddy, which we assume sends electricity to the electronics within it, meaning that if he was a human, Gregory would be electrocuted. Now, that's, it is kind of weird that he has us go into the charging station with Freddy. Because whenever we just walk into a charging station, we end up inside of Freddy, so. Number 3, his scream when caught sounds metallic. So whenever we get caught by an animatronic that are like in our face, and Gregory, I assume, is the one screaming, but it sounds really, really metallic. Number 4, Freddy tells Gregory that he's broken when they're first in the beginning of the game. There's this moment where you're walking inside of Glamrock Freddy, and Freddy stops and he says, "I detect that you're broken." Not, "I detect that you're bleeding. I detect that you're injured, that you're hurt." No, he says broken. And in Five Nights at Freddy's lore, the words "you are broken" is very reminiscent of moments within older games where the ghost of this child known as the Crying Child, who a lot of people also think Gregory might be if he is a robot, is this child known as the Crying Child. And a spirit inside of a plush Freddy told him that "you are broken. I will put you back together." So it's kind of weird seeing the words "you are broken," but it also has been revealed. I guess people were looking inside of the game files, and I guess instead of saying "you are broken," Freddy was originally supposed to say "you are bleeding," but Steel Wool, the creators of the game, didn't want, because of the age rating, they didn't think that that would be appropriate to put in, and it still get the age rating that they were going for. Gregory is pretty wise. He's smarter than a kid would be in his situation, like being able to upgrade Freddy, demolishing the animatronics, etc. And our final point is that there is no records of Gregory within the Megaplex database. So it's kind of a strong case, but given the rest of the game, there's not really a whole lot proving or disproving if Gregory is a robot or not. Now, here are our cons. Our cons are being that back to our first point. When Vanny is near, Gregory sees these TV lines across his vision. Well, a way to disprove that might be that Vanny is wearing what's known as an illusion disc. In the books, there's these things called illusion discs where if the wearer is carrying it, they can make people hallucinate and see things that aren't actually there. Which, there's nothing mentioning an illusion disc within the entire game of Security Breach, so that's a flimsy debate for that point. It holds little weight, so Vanny might not even be wearing an illusion disc, but I've seen people bring that one up. Number 2, Freddy and all the other endos are trained to do first aid, which would explain the whole broken line. I already kind of said that they were going to originally have him say, "You are bleeding," but Steelwool decided to change it to broken. But, again, it's kind of a here or there argument. And yeah, the endos are all trained. When we go into the basement, you see all these other endoskeletons, and there's like pictures on the wall that they use to train these endoskeletons before they put the casing on them. And there is a wall where it shows an endoskeleton tending to an injured child. So this could indicate that Freddy actually, was just saying, "You're broken," because it could just be in his programming. Another con is Freddy can't see Vanny. They can't, because Vanny is hacked into the animatronics to not see her, and Gregory can see Vanny. So if Gregory's a robot, he wouldn't be able to see Vanny either, but he's able to see Vanny because he says, "Hey Freddy, didn't you just see that creepy lady, that creepy rabbit that just walked past us?" And Freddy's like, "No, I didn't see no robot. There is no robot at the Pizzaplex. Not anymore." So if Gregory's a robot, he wouldn't be able to see Freddy either. He wouldn't be able to see Vanny either. In the charging station, we are always inside of Freddy, which can mean that Freddy is the only one, is the only one actually exposed to the electricity within inside the chamber. So maybe when we're inside of Freddy, we're protected from the electricity, inside of the charging stations. That really does kind of hold up, because even when you just walk inside the charging chamber yourself, you don't get charged, you don't get electrified. Electrocuted. Electrified. Wow, someone's going to probably make that a meme. I'm not meme worthy yet. But even when we go inside by ourselves, when we come out, we're inside of Glamrock Freddy. We kind of just spawn inside of Glamrock Freddy. So we could just be we could be safe inside of the charging station inside of Freddy. Another point is, Gregory being smart could just be a product of his situation. He's homeless, on the streets, having to survive could make a person very smart, cunning, and adaptable. And it's also shown that within various areas of the Megaplex, we see that somebody has been living inside of the Megaplex, the mall. That isn't just Vanny or Vanessa, because Vanny and Vanessa have this hideout in Monty Golf. So maybe these other places are where Gregory has been hiding out, and the reason why we kind of just, at the beginning of the game, come inside of Freddy is because we were just walking around the mall, we got seen by Vanessa, so we ran inside of Freddy because we didn't want to get caught and have to be, put on the streets again, And being homeless does make somebody quite smart, quite cunning, and adaptable to stressful situations. He's wearing bandages, meaning that he does get injured. We see a lot of, at the ending, we see Gregory has bandages on him, on his arms, on his cheek. So we know he can get injured, which would kind of further disprove the whole robot thing, because a robot wouldn't need to be wearing bandages. Yeah, he could have been camping out in the mall for a while, given that the many locations we see, somebody has been living inside the mall besides Vanny's hideout. him not being in the database could just also be because he's homeless. He's snuck inside the Megaplex. He doesn't have a record because he snuck in. He's homeless. He didn't come in the legal way. Those are all the points either for or against Gregory being a robot. Now, what do I think about all this? I think I would like Gregory to just be a human. I think Daco has also said this, but I think it would be actually really cool if Gregory was just a homeless kid that snuck inside the Megaplex, and if we just got, seen by Vanny or Vanessa, and he's just, wrong place, wrong time. I don't feel like he needs to be a robot, because I feel like it takes away from, one, who Gregory is. I feel like it takes away from, the danger aspect of this entire game. We're a kid. We're up against animatronics that are, so sophisticated and whatever the hell is going on with all these disappearances. I feel like that's another thing that a lot of people aren't talking about is, where are these kids that are disappearing from the Megaplex? We know that there are kids disappearing from the Megaplex right now, in this current time, wherever the game takes place in the future. That Gregory even knows about it. He has a newspaper in one of the endings that when you first get out, the first ending you get normally is when you just leave at 6 a.m. and Vanny comes and finds us in a box with a newspaper over us that says, missing kids. It's like, the missing kids. Like, where are these missing kids? And I feel like Gregory, being a kid himself, I feel like that really does add to the danger. And if we were a robot, it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't have any weight to it. It feels like it would be kind of a weird plot twist to throw in, because they're already kind of hinting that Vanny and Vanessa could be two different people. So why make Gregory a robot? I would really like Gregory to just be a kid and be kind of thrust into this whole thing, wrong place, wrong time, and we kind of figure out along the way where his parents are. Maybe Vanny or Vanessa, took his parents, or he was a kid that Vanny was gonna kidnap originally, and he got, inside the Megaplex thinking he would be safe from her, and instead, she's there or something. Like, it would be so cool if Gregory could just stay a human. Because I really don't see the need to make him a robot, but it would be cool if they could just explain it. Maybe in a good way. Like, he doesn't have to be a kid from the past inside of an animatronic. I feel like maybe, something, if they gave it a good, reason behind it, it would be great. I really agree with Daco on that. I feel like if they gave it a cool backstory as to why Gregory is a robot, maybe make him just a cyborg, make him human and a robot, make him like a cyborg. I feel like that whole thing could be really cool to play around with. Kind of like Teen Titans. I mean, make him a cyborg. Make him have like one eye that goes haywire, and maybe he was, worked on by somebody, or, something like that. It's not fully fleshed out in my head, but like, I feel like that might be a cool thing to kind of make it so Gregory is a robot and a human. And it could be a cool thing to play around with story-wise. Because who does he really side with, humans or robots? I think that's really all I've got to say on the matter. I know it's kind of a heated thing, so remember, these are all just theories. That's the part of the whole fun of the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise as a whole, is theorizing. We're all here to have fun. Nothing is canon. Nothing I'm saying is canon. These are just, what other people are saying and what other people are saying about both sides, about if Gregory's a robot or not. I thought making a video, kind of detailing everything, either pro or con, and then my thoughts, was a good idea. So, if you guys like this video, hit the like, Hit the subscribe button if you feel like it also, and turn on the notification bell for whenever I post a video. I do all kinds of content, internet news, drama, anime reviews, book reviews. I talk about FNAF, every now and then. Yeah, that's kind of it. I love you guys, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.